All right, let's talk about something that's probably keeping a lot of general counsels up at night. We're diving into the incredible power of AI in the legal world, but also the catastrophic risks it brings to the most sacred thing a firm has, its attorney-client privilege. AI is a total game changer, but it is also a minefield. Let's get into it.
And just so you know, for this explainer, we're pulling all our information directly from Chapter 8 of a fantastic tutorial on AI data extraction threats, which was published by Virtualization Options LLC.
So how does this all go so wrong? You might be thinking it's some kind of super sophisticated cyber attack, right? Nope. The story of how this all unravels starts with a totally normal, everyday task and one single mistake. A mistake that can destroy an entire legal strategy.
And check this out. This quote from a general counsel at a major tech company? This isn't some made-up story or a hypothetical. This is a real-world disaster. A junior associate, just trying to be efficient, used a commercial AI tool to help out. And the result? The opposing counsel subpoenaed the AI's records, and just like that, poof! The firm's entire case strategy, their private thoughts, their legal arguments, all of it was laid bare. Privilege wasn't just waived, it was completely destroyed.
And according to the source material, this isn't some rare fluke. Once privileged case details are fed into a commercial AI system, 100% of cases result in a loss of attorney-client privilege. Let me say that again, 100%. There's no gray area here, it's an absolute, and it turns a helpful tool into a ticking time bomb.
So this begs a really important question. Beyond that one case, what exactly is on the line when legal intelligence gets exposed? We're talking about the very heart and soul of a legal department's strategic advantage.
The exposure goes way, way beyond just a single litigation strategy. I mean, what are we talking about here? Your firm's entire playbook, the specific terms you're willing to accept in a contract, your confidential assessments of where your compliance is weak, your internal legal opinions, risk analyses, even your private back and forth with regulators. Every single one of these is a devastating piece of intelligence to have in the wrong hands.
And the cost? The cost of a breach is just staggering. We're not just talking about losing a case. The source documents the average financial hit of a major legal intelligence breach at $8.7 million. That is a massive price to pay for a tool that's supposed to make you more productive. It could wipe out years of profit.
And here's where the tactical damage really hits home. In 87% of these incidents, the breach directly provides the opposing counsel with your case strategy. Think about that for a second. In nearly 9 out of every 10 cases, you're not just losing privilege, you are literally handing your entire game plan to the other side.
So how does this happen so effectively? Well, it happens because legal work itself creates the perfect opportunity for this kind of data extraction. Everyday tasks become the very things that expose you, often leading to that dreaded digital subpoena.
You see, adversaries have a method. When an attorney uses an AI to analyze discovery documents, the case strategy gets exposed. When they use it for legal research, the fact patterns and the strategic questions they're asking reveal their entire approach. Analyzing contracts, that leaks negotiation limits. Assessing compliance, well, that exposes the company's biggest vulnerabilities. It's a systematic mining of routine, everyday legal work.
And just look at this list. This isn't some obscure, high-risk behavior we're talking about. This is the daily grind of a legal department, right? Drafting briefs, preparing for negotiations, reviewing M&A documents. The very activities where AI promises the most help are the exact same ones that carry the greatest risk of a catastrophic exposure.
Okay, so the threat is clear, and the stakes are incredibly high. It sounds pretty bleak, I know, but the good news is, it's not hopeless. So let's talk about the framework for protection. How do you build that digital fortress?
Building a real defense here requires a multi-layered approach. First, you've got to establish absolute, rock-solid protocols to protect privilege. Second, and this is huge, you need to use dedicated, private AI infrastructure, not those public tools. Third, you must enforce mandatory classification of all documents before they get anywhere near an AI. And crucially, you need an ethics review for any new AI tool, along with constant auditing and monitoring of how these things are actually being used.
And then there are some lines that you just cannot cross. According to the source, this means setting up some hard and fast rules. Number 1, prohibit AI use for any active litigation. Period. Full stop. Number 2, never ever input complete contracts or specific deal terms. And number 3, avoid using AI entirely for sensitive compliance assessments where you're analyzing your own weak spots. These have to be non-negotiable.
Ultimately, this whole conversation moves way beyond firewalls and technical stuff.
It elevates the issue from being just an IT security problem to being a core professional responsibility for every single person in the legal field.
And this right here is the key takeaway. In the age of AI, safeguarding client confidences and protecting that attorney-client privilege isn't just a best practice, it's a fundamental ethical mandate. It's at the very heart of what it means to be a legal professional.
And that leaves us all with a final pretty provocative question that every legal team really needs to ask itself. Looking at your own practices, your tools, your policies, is your firm actively protecting its most vital secrets, or are you just inadvertently preparing for your next subpoena?